evening, the Bihar alliance between the BJP and the JDU is on the verge of collapse, with the Janata Dal United likely to announce a split soon, possibly as early as tomorrow. Sources say the JDU is planning to form an alternative government along with the Congress and the RJD and the CPM. Nitish Kumar is now likely to head back to forging ties with the Mahagathbandhan, with Tejasvi Yadav and his RJD among the other parties I mentioned. The alternative alliance is being stitched together as most MLAs don't want mid-term polls. The JDU has accused the BJP of trying to break the party, with former party president RCP Singh's apparent proximity to the BJP being the last straw. The Janata Dal United has accused the BJP of trying to undermine the Chief Minister's hold over his party. The Bihar Chief Minister, Nitish Kumar, has called a meeting of all Janata Dal United MLAs and MPs tomorrow, leading to a lot of speculation that the friction with the BJP has come to a end, that it's all essentially over now, and that he will part ways with the BJP. But speaking to NDTV earlier on today, MLAs and spokespersons of the JDU say that you shouldn't necessarily expect that, and if there is to be an announcement, if there are to be details, it will only be announced tomorrow. And at the moment, they say that the government continues and it exists stably. Well, reports say that at tomorrow's meeting of legislators, the JDU leadership will present MLAs who have reportedly been approached by the BJP to switch sides. This is part of the central allegation that the BJP has been trying to do to the JDU what it's done to the Shiv Sena, to essentially break the party, get them to cross over to the BJP fold. Nitish Kumar says that this is something that will never happen, and has voiced his concern at this, and also voiced his concern at remarks made by the senior BJP leader, Mr. JP Nadda, where he spoke about how the BJP would essentially be the dominant political force, if necessary, at the expense of all political parties or any political party in the country. The JDU senses that the BJP, this is their perspective, the BJP disrespects their allies. Nitish Kumar's aides are citing a recent comment, as I mentioned, by JP Nadda.
के लिए करना चाहिए, तैयारी करने के लिए करना चाहिए। हम एक ऐसी पार्टी है जो आइडियोलॉजिकल बेस्ड है, वैचारिक पृष्ठभूमि पर हम खड़े हैं। मैं बार बार लोगों को बोलता हूं, देखो अगर ये विचार नहीं होता ना, तो हम इतनी बड़ी लड़ाई नहीं लड़ सकते थे, और सब लोग मिट गए, समाप्त हो गए, और जो नहीं हुए वो हो जाएंगे। रहेगा तो फिर बीजेपी रहेगी।
क्यों नहीं? हम तो कह रहे हैं कि सब लोग अपना, हमारे सबका वजूद है। यहाँ देख रहे हैं कि आप लोग यहाँ देख रहे हैं कि हम सब के नेता माननीय मुख्यमंत्री नीतीश कुमार जी, जो ने इन 16-17 वर्षों में जो काम किया ऐतिहासिक है, देश दुनिया के नक्शे पर है। जो बिहार का पूर्व में बिहार था, आज क्या बिहार की स्थिति आई है, तो उनके नेतृत्व में जो सरकार, सुशासन की सरकार चल रही है, और जो विकास हुआ है, किसी से छिपा हुआ है क्या?
नहीं, सब कुछ ठीक तो नहीं चल रहा है। सब कुछ जो है सरकार में ठीक नहीं चल रहा है। अब इधर जो बैठक बुलाई गई है, हमारे यहाँ भी बैठक बुलाई गई है, हम जानते नहीं हैं, हमारी बातचीत नहीं है। न तेजस्वी से हमने इस बारे में पूछा है, न जगदानंद सिंह से पूछा है। नीतीश कुमार पिछले विधानसभा में जो उनकी सीटें घटी, अगर मान लीजिए कि अलग हो गए नीतीश कुमार वहाँ से, और अलग हो गए, तो स्वाभाविक है कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी कहेगी कि साहब आप विश्वास मत हासिल कीजिए। उस विश्वास मत में हम क्या करेंगे? सरकार को गिरा देंगे। हमारा तो दायित्व बनता है कि हम भाई निकले हैं तो हम समर्थन करेंगे। तो हमारे लिए पॉलिटिकल कंपल्सन, हमारे सामने रास्ता क्या है भाई? अब अभी तो नहीं हो सकता है कि हम साहब ये भारतीय जनता पार्टी से अलग होते हैं, अलग होकर के खड़े होते हैं, तो हमको साथ देना ही है।
नीतीश कुमार जी के खिलाफ षड्यंत्र हुआ, साजिश हुई, और उस साजिश का परिणाम है 43 पर पहुंचना। और उस षड्यंत्र के प्रति अब हम सब लोग नीतीश कुमार जी के नेतृत्व में सतर्क हैं। कोई षड्यंत्र यहां चलने वाला नहीं है।
Well, Alok Pandey joins us now for the very latest. Alok, is there a sense that the JDU in this big press conference of the meet tomorrow may actually reveal details on why they believe the BJP is trying to break their party?
Well, I guess the press conference, Vishnu, is journalistic hope right now. One hopes that Nitish Kumar will clear the air after that meeting. But I think, much has been said through JDU sources about what the issue is. including the fact that Nitish Kumar perhaps feels that, the BJP is trying to do an Uddhav Thackeray on him by trying to prop up RCP Singh, who at one point of time was very powerful, Vishnu. He was the virtual number 2 in the JDU and the government, more or less, here also in Patna, in the time that he was here. And everyone knew that he was the closest person to Nitish Kumar. And now they've had this spectacular falling out where Nitish Kumar believes that the BJP is trying to turn Mr. RCP Singh into some kind of Eknath Shinde, again to draw a parallel to Maharashtra. Whether that is what has led to breaking point, so to say, is something that one waits to see what will happen. Of course, Nitish Kumar is going to address his own MPs and MLAs. We are not going to be privy to what happens inside, most probably, but I'm sure we'll get to know what he said. So he may give out the reasons, if he's going to go ahead with this move, of course, then he may certainly give out the reasons as to why he's decided to do it. And like you said, one hopes that he'll also hold a press conference. But it looks a little inevitable, so to say. I mean, experts, etc., who you speak to, they say that, yeah, it's likely to happen. And that, the RJD is going to step in and allow Nitish Kumar to continue being the chief minister, etc. But I think it's a little fluid right now. So one waits to see what happens in that all-crucial JDU meeting tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. It's at the residence of the Bihar chief minister.
So what about the RJD? Where exactly is the RJD at the moment? I mean, are they saying anything at all?
So I think one thing that the party said, Vishnu, was that they officially handed out a statement saying that, look, only Tejasvi Yadav and Lalu Yadav are authorized to take a call on it. And anybody else who say anything, his version is his own version, her own version, and that is not the party line. That said, Shivanand Tiwari, a very, a senior leader of the RJD, he went out and made some, gave some statements about how the RJD is ready to fill in, etc. But I think one thing is for certain, officially the RJD has not given any kind of invite, so to say, to Nitish Kumar. They say that they are going to wait for events to unfold and then take a call. Congress is also an important player, Vishnu, because they have around 19 MLAs. And if they and the RJD get together, they have a combined strength of 99. The halfway mark is 122. So if both of them decide to support Nitish Kumar, then Nitish Kumar gets that majority that he currently has with the BJP. So the Congress at the moment, through sources again, is saying that, look, we are ready to make whatever move is required to keep the BJP out. So very interesting next 24 hours in Bihar for sure.